Two common complaints about the government, and these are common complaints, not mine specifically, but two common complaints. They waste time and they waste money. And I'm sure I'm not the first person to highlight those comments. We see it pretty regularly in your feedback into this show, actually. But when it comes to elections in Idaho, lawmakers actually addressed those concerns last year. So a 2020 law many forgot about is now coming in handy and likely saving you money and time. Here's how. This Idaho law will soon save everyone time and taxpayer dollars during the upcoming November election.
It allows the county clerk to not put a race on the ballot if it is an uncontested race, for example, for mayor or for a city councilman.
Chad Houck is Chief Deputy Secretary of State. He explains that the law only covers up to city elections, not beyond it for things like statewide races. Houck says there are two main benefits that come with the law, tailored to avoid unnecessary elections, like when someone is running against nobody else. First, he says, there are financial benefits.
Reduces the cost, reduces the time needed to administer the election. If you're in a hand count county, it's one less tabulation process to have to go through for getting those numbers in, and ultimately reduces the cost of administering that election for the county clerks.
Houck points out, for example, that fewer ballot items means less on ballot and printing costs. Fewer ballot items can also promote better voter engagement, he says.
Fewer things that are on the ballot. We know that there's such a real thing as ballot fatigue. The further you go down the ballot, the less likely a voter is to participate in those ballot questions that are towards the tail end of the ballot.
You may be wondering, what about write-in candidates? Does this effectively exterminate that option? The short answer is no, and it's important to mention that write-in candidates in Idaho do need to go through a registration process ahead of an election to have votes counted for them. Houck says the law addresses all of that.
It actually very specifically addresses write-in candidates. In fact, the bill states that after the passing of the deadline for registering as a write-in candidate, registering for a write-in candidate is a statutory requirement. It happens after the declaration of candidacy, but before the deadlines when the ballots are actually printed and go out the door. And that's so that only registered write-in candidates that have had an opportunity for the county clerks to evaluate their ability to serve in that office, meeting the qualifications of that office, are allowed to receive votes functionally on election day, should they actually win that particular contest.
The concept the law accomplishes applied to lower-level elections previously, but again, it will now extend to city elections, but not beyond them.
This does not apply anywhere above that city threshold. It doesn't get up into any of our partisan elections. We still utilize in a partisan office like the legislature or like our constitutional offices. If one should be uncontested, you'd still see that there. That's more of a keeping in track with the primary and general system that we don't have in the municipal or city elections.
So what does all this look like in practice? Well, we can tell you already. In Camas County, for example, it appears right now that only one of their ballot items will actually make the ballot in Camas County, and you may get a different ballot depending on where you live. There's 4 items, though, in total for some voters to consider. Again, only one of those may appear on the ballot because a lot of the races uncontested means only one person running for one seat. Now, in the event that someone runs unopposed and it doesn't make the ballot, the winner still gets formally declared as the winner with an election certificate.